And here we are, game 2 between Q and yuSoju. Q is up a game, and this is game 2 in the round of 256 of Apex Season 4. On yuSoju's side, we have Bozel with Black Hole, Dark Waltz, and Sleep. We have Juggler with Sacred Beast Him, Triton, and Beast Shock. We have Yusuke with Psychic Eruption, Dark Spirit Gun, and Demon Domination. We have D-Lit with Gospel, Sea of Miracles, and Wind Cutter Dagger. And we have Luna with Wind God Realm, Raging Thunder, and Move Again. On the side of Q, we have Luna with Wind God Realm, Move Again, and the Princess Faction buff, Queen's Ascension. We have Tiaras with Attack Blessing, Heal, and Miracle. We have Juggler with Triton, Beast Shock, and Sacred Beast Him. Angelina with Breath of the Tides, Tile Surge, and Alternate. And Yusuke with Psychic Eruption, Dark Spirit Gun, and Demon Domination. And this is game 2. And let us begin. yuSoju is going to move on forward aggressively with the Juggler, and it's going to cast Triton. Q is going to stay in place to move and not move with Juggler, and yuSoju is going to move on forward with D-Lit. And Q is going to move on down here, and is actually going to go for the transformation first, and actually gave a mobility buff to D-Lit now. Meanwhile, on Soju's side, we just had the faction buff going off, and we have an attack, blessing on Angelina. I'm sorry, that was a mobility buff on Angelina. And yuSoju is going to move on top with Bozel and faction buff. Angelina is going to move forward just a tad bit. And we have a Wind God Realm already coming in from the side of yuSoju and giving a King's Crown proc to both D-Lit and Juggler. We have the Luna of Q doing the same thing, a King's Crown proc on the Juggler with a Wind God Realm cast, and we have the Queen's Ascension up. D-Lit is going to move on back and cast Sea of Miracles. And Yusuke is going to move on forward, and it's going to a faction buff right here, and going to give a mobility buff. And yuSoju is going to do the same transformation, and Angelina is going to go on in and is going to cast a Tile Surge, and it's not going to go for a physical attack on Yusuke, and this should be enough to take him out. And no, it does not. Yusuke will live with 518 life. Amazing. And yuSoju is going to go for a normal attack on Angelina, and Angelina almost falls. And we do have a silence and a debuff, and the Juggler of Q is actually going to go in for a dive here. And how much damage this is going to do? Not really a lot here. Juggler is going to be able to heal back everyone to full, and the Juggler of yuSoju is going to be able to take out the Angelina. And we do have the talent of Yusuke on Q's side going off with Mimir's Hammer. And let's see how Q's going to respond. Q's going to give a King's Crown proc. It's going to move very, very closer. And it's going to move closer to Juggler. And we do have an attack coming in from Yusuke. And it's going to be the Dark Spirit Gun. And Juggler is going to lose all of his lobsters. But now he is unable to heal. We have a Beast Shock coming in for Q, but I do not believe this will be enough. No, the Juggler of yuSoju will live with close to 5,000 life here. And D-Lit is going to move on forward and cast Gospel upon herself, and she will be able to move again due to the force of no return. And it's actually going to go for attack, but Juggler is going to take the brunt of the damage, and this should be enough to take out the Juggler of Q here. And again, the Yusuke talent and Mimir's Hammer is going to go off screen. And we have the Heaven's Gift going off. And we do have a Dark Spirit Gun coming up now for Q. And I do believe this might be enough, and Juggler of yuSoju will fall. And the Yusuke of yuSoju is going to be doing the same thing with the Mimir's Hammer and the talent. And let's see what will happen now on the side of yuSoju. yuSoju is going to go in for an attack against the Tiaras, and this should be enough to take her out in one shot. And Luna barely taking any damage, and Q is going to try to go in for an attack against yuSoju, but will this be enough? No, it will not. The Luna of yuSoju will live with 736 life. And a King's Crown prop going on the Yusuke of Q. And Q is going to go in for attack again, but this time against the Yusuke of yuSoju. But that seemed to be a mistake there. And yuSoju is looking well endowed in this game. And the Luna will go down here. And what is left of Q here is his Yusuke. And this turn, Yusuke will transform back to his normal self. So, Q, unable to kill off the D-Lit of yuSoju here. And Q will concede here, because Q cannot seem to do a lot of damage there.